Everybody, how is everyone today? I'm Di.
And I'm Robin.
It's good to see you again this week. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. All right. So today here in Mississippi is primary day, election day. And we're not talking politics. But I found something very interesting this morning. I went out to see, what you got to have for primary day. I mean, I've been doing this my whole life, like almost. So all of a sudden I started reading, and I just have to say that this was the weirdest thing I've seen. It said when you go to the polls, you have to choose. I mean, there's other things you got to do, but they're not putting certain candidates, like the independents, they don't get to be on this primary vote. So they don't have a chance in, to keep going forward on the general election. So that struck me funny. But then, I don't know if they do this anywhere else, but does anyone else, and I really want to know this because I don't know the new rules out there. However, does anyone else have where you walk in the place and you have to tell them whether you choose a Democrat ballot or a Republican ballot? Is that odd to anyone else? Isn't that supposed to be private?
I'm going to say this because I remember this is why this nowadays just kind of freaks me out. I was raised in a household where you didn't discuss what your political views are.
I did not.
I mean, was that a generation thing? I mean, because, I was raised by my grandparents, but we didn't discuss who we were voting for or...
It was discussed, but it was like, back in the day when I was younger, it was like this way or the highway. But thank God I wasn't old enough to vote, so I could have my own opinion and keep that to myself.
Yeah, but I mean, did you discuss it outwardly with other people in the neighborhood and stuff like that, or did you?
Not really.
Because I don't remember it being a thing that we broadly, expressed. It was more of a private thing, or maybe it was just that way in my house.
I don't know.
Let me know. Let me know if it's
just
something you've always discussed around and about, out openly on social media everywhere.
Yeah, with all the new rules and offense and defense and all this other stuff taking place, we just want to know. My biggest question was, do you have to tell the person when you go in there whether you want the Republican or the Democrat ballot? Like they have two separate ones. And I thought that was very odd. But at any rate, so today we were going to talk about
decision making.
Imagine that. It just happened to fall on primary day. We did not do that on purpose anyway. But what do you think, Robin? What are you going to start this off with?
Well, I mean, we all have... first of all, I want to say... nice cups. See there? We got new cups for the morning show here.
Yes, and on the back... Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. On the back, this is what it says. It says... I can't read it because I can't go that way.
It says empowering women everywhere.
Because we like strong women teams.
So it's our team cup.
Yeah, it's our team cup.
But a friend of ours sent these to us, and you can get your own cup. And these are big cups, just so you know, they're 20 ounce. So you can get your own cup made from Town Creations.
Town Creations, Michelle.
Yep. So wonderful job, Michelle.
Just so you know, if you're ever looking for a good country singer, or even just any singer, she is phenomenal.
Yeah, she's a great singer.
Just a shout out to her today.
That's right. She's a great singer. I love that song she sings, Not Ready to Make Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That Baltimore. That Baltimore one was awesome. She rocks it. Okay, back to decision making.
We go off.
Yeah, we do. We have a tendency to go off. This is a good one because it's, are you an impulsive decision maker or not?
Well, I don't think I'm an impulsive decision maker. I do, but I don't. There's certain things that I am, but when it comes to like shopping, tell them how you correct yourself, Robin.
Well, no, I mean, this is serious stuff because you could really mess up your life with impulsive decision making. So, yeah. I mean, we're not talking about Temu or anything because
everyone knows what Temu is, one of those shopping centers online.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, you know how those car warranty people are where they constantly try to call you for your car warranty? Temu is worse. I mean, they send you some serious emails, and you don't want to unsubscribe because if you got an order in, you want the updates.
Or if you're an impulsive buyer for clothes and like retail gadgety things.
Well, now I do like to shop. But now here's what I do. See, because I know I'm impulsive. I don't know if I'm impulsive or I just want what I want. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, my grandmother was like that. She didn't shop. She didn't buy a whole lot. I mean, they sacrificed a lot to raise us kids. But she, by the time she wanted something, she wanted it. So I learned something very important about myself because I stopped myself from impulsive shopping for little stuff like that. You know, I mean, I'm not out buying a house or anything.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But anyhow, so I don't, you know, I put everything in my cart.
In your shopping cart.
In my shopping cart. Because I shop
Online.
online. Now, that is one of the new technology things that I do like because I don't like crowds or anything like that. But I put everything in my cart and then I wait a couple of days to see if I still wanted all those things in my cart. And 9 times out of 10, I'll delete a few things I'll figure I don't really actually need.
Well, then that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
we all have impulsive tendencies when a decision comes up, right? So it's like, what's the best way to overcome like a really impulsive decision? Like, just like, I always say like, I don't like when I do that.
Well, it's better than You know,
Yeah.
people say all the time. I'm probably guilty of that.
Yeah. So what I do is like, I'm a big pros and cons person. Like if I have to make a bigger decision besides Temu or what pair of shoes I'm getting, right? I always do pros and cons. Like if it's a bigger decision, like, you know, you have to decide like what's good for your career, or you have to decide, you know, what's good for your kids, you know, those kind of things. Those are very important. You know, we all have impulses of what to do. Like in a marriage, you can have most of the time you discuss it, you know, and you both put down your pros and cons and stuff. I see you looking puzzled. So give me your thoughts.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think. I think I am an impulsive person.
Yeah, but not.
That's not true because I bought the car online.
She did. You know what happened? Here's what happened. We were going to go get Robin a car. Like I was going with her. So I go all the way down there and we take her car that she had at the time. And they took it from us and said, let me just park your car for you. Well, they surrounded it with 65,000 other cars. So she couldn't get it out and they had her keys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they held me captive.
They held her captive not only for a little while, but for almost 6-7 hours. She was at that dealership.
I was so pissed.
But she ended up getting a car. But by the time she did that and went all through that, she never wanted to go through that again.
Mm-mm.
So all of a sudden it came to buying the car she got a few years ago. Or a couple of years ago, whatever it is. And she bought it online, sight unseen.
I did. And I love it. It's by far my favorite car I've had.
It's a little Ford Eco.
It's a
and
little
she
Ford
loves
Eco,
it.
and I love it. I mean, I don't know, it just suits
But
me.
me,
I guess.
I have to go test drive a car. I got to know that I like it. I got to know that it's going to look nice on the road. I don't know why.
Now, I probably won't do that again because I got very lucky. The angels were watching over me because I did literally, I think I bought it right at the beginning of 2020 or something. So the pandemic was just taking place, which is why I was able to buy it online.
And they drove it to
They
your
drove
house.
it to me, let me test drive it here, you know, at the house and everything. But yeah, I did. I totally just went rogue and said I'm buying a car. But now the reason I impulsively did that was because I had been tossing it in my head for quite some time and I just didn't pull the trigger on it because of my fear of dealerships, because that really traumatized me, I'm just saying. But so I had tossed it in my head, and then I went out to work one day and the car I was in had no AC. It wasn't as hot as it is now. Oh my God, I would have died. But the car I had was old. I mean, it was really an antique. You could put an antique license plate on it. That's how old it was. And so I was driving to work and it stalled on me. And I was like, oh, yeah, we won't be doing this. So I made the roundabout, drove it back home, and just called the dealership, got online, called the dealership.
So that's the story about how she got her car and stuff.
So maybe I am a little impulsive.
Yeah, I would say that you are. But we all go through it. We all have, like I started to say before, we all have those urges to buy something that we just got to have or do something that we know we shouldn't do. All right.
Oh, that's a little angel and devil.
Yeah, but here's an example. It's not a good one, but here's an example. When your office that you work at has a party, like a Christmas party or a birthday party, don't be the one that has that one too many drinks at an office party.
Well, now, in all fairness to me, there were 3 other people that got sick off of having that same one glass of wine.
I wasn't trying to talk about your experience.
Oh.
I was talking about everybody's. But yeah, I remember her coming home one day and I saw her so whacked out, and I don't see her like that.
I'm not normally like that.
But she said, I swear I only had one glass.
Well, it was a big glass. I'm not going to say that it wasn't a big glass, but it was the type of wine, because I'm a wine drinker. And so whatever it was that we were drinking, I wasn't the only one that got sick off of drinking it. So.
But I'm just saying, that's not a good decision. So if you're an impulsive thinker and you just want to do something you know you shouldn't, sit down for a second and really think about what are kind of the consequences after, what is going to be the thing that results from that decision right then. Even when you're buying something, you got to know that it's something that you really need, something that's going to change your life, right?
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, I listen to Mel Robbins a lot.
Yeah.
I do. I like Mel Robbins.
Actually, yeah, we watched her.
Yeah. And she, she has this whole thing about decision making. And whether you're making the decision with your head or whether you're making the decision with your heart. If I had to choose, I would probably say, this is serious. If I had to choose, I would probably say I'm a person who overthinks it. And Di's probably a person that does it with her heart and soul.
I do. Everything is from my soul. If I feel it in my gut, it's happening. If I don't, then it's not.
Yeah, I'm probably overanalyzing it myself. But anyhow, so what she does is she has these ways of deciding whether or not you're deciding with your head or you're deciding with your heart. Yeah. And her whole thing is never make a big decision without making it from your heart and soul. I mean, that's just how she feels.
Well, she has those questions that she asks herself, right?
Right.
Does the decision expand you, she said, right? Does it expand your future? And the other one was expand the possibility of your life. Like, does your life get better from your decision? If that is what happens, the decision is always yes. That's what, according to Mel Robbins, that's the way she makes a decision. And I remember you talking about it. We were watching it, and I was like, I guess that's a good way. But if the decision doesn't do any good for you.
If it shrinks you.
If it shrinks you, she said.
That's right. If it silences you.
Well, then the answer is absolutely not. Don't make that decision. So I really am so curious, because I know we'll have more people on here that watch us through the day. Just write down comments. Are you an impulse decision maker, or are you I'm going to think this through decision maker?
Yeah, and all kind, because you may be one of those people that actually impulsively buy little things, but really thinks through the big things. Yeah, I do.
Well, and there's another thing. When you buy a house,
bring an electrician and a plumber. Don't buy it without doing those 2 things.
Yeah, they have an inspector that comes in, and they're supposed to all do their things. And then suddenly, you go in the house, you move in, and there's things that you never would have known that are underneath the ground, that are underneath your house. There's all sorts of stuff. So when you go when you go to buy a house, make sure that you yourself get yourself a inspector, your own inspector. Those are very, very, very important.
Yes, very much so. So, but that's how we make decisions. We decide which decisions we're going to do. I think it's, we have dogs. I think it's important to make decisions, and I think it's important to decide how you're going to do it in the future. So you can do like I do, and you can cross it off the list as a priority, whether it's a priority or not, and hang on to it for 3 days to keep yourself from being impulsive. Or you can just sit back and think and think and think. And I don't know, Di, I don't know about the whole decision thing, because I'm a person that's got, like 24 hours to live. And so I do everything in a hurry.
There's decisions, so seriously, on a serious note, there's decision making that some people are just like, they do really stupid decision making, and it can really seriously make your life, let's be truthful, a living hell, because you're making decisions for you, what you want and what you think you need. And say the rest of your family could suffer from those decisions. Like, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but you could be, addicted to gambling, make decisions to, use all your mortgage money for that. You can make a decision to go out drinking every night. Those are poor decisions, so for those, I always recommend going to get some help for that, because that is a decision making process that will destroy you.
That is very true.
Yeah, so I wanted to point that out, because I have been around people who have destroyed themselves, destroyed their families, all for that. And if you could just get some help, to help you get past all that and why you're doing it. Because what did you say the other day to me? That it was just like a quick fix. Like some decisions are made on quick fixes, and it doesn't always work like that. Look how many people make a decision, oh my God, the lottery is $4.5 billion, and they're broke the following year because they make poor decisions after they win.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
I know, I jumped from one to the other.
We just saw something about that. We were watching a program about a woman who won the lottery, and less than 6 years later she was being evicted and thrown out
from a hotel.
From a hotel, yeah.
And didn't have her kids, so she made some poor decisions.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
I'm really curious. I'm so curious to see what people really think on all of these things.
Yeah, if you are an impulsive decision maker, or do you actually just stop and think about it? Do you do it with your head, or do you do it with your heart? I'm
kind of like an anxiety person. Like, if I think I need something, which I never say I need this or I need that. Very rarely, unless it has to do with business. Like, you need business supplies, and you got to feed your dog, so I have to make.
Wow, there's that.
But I'm just saying, like,
look at her looking at you.
I know. I put her in her bed. Anyway, so if you have to make decisions, you could do what Robin does. You do that Mel Robin thing, of course, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I do.
Where you make a decision. And I really, really write down the pros and cons and see how it's going to affect my life. So like, for example, like if you get a job offer clear across the country, it's a great job offer, right? And suddenly you're stuck with, like, your kids are in this school here, your wife has a job or not, it doesn't matter, or your husband, either way, it's a free world. And then one could work and one couldn't.
That's true.
At any rate, so you have to make this huge decision to leave your family to go do better for your family, because it's a lot higher paying job. That is a huge, huge, huge decision.
That affects everybody.
That affects everybody, your entire family, your friends, everything. That I have done that a couple of times, where I just completely picked up and left because I felt like I had to. And it was better for me at the time, but it hurts. It hurts leaving all those people behind. So you have to really
be confident in your decision.
Yeah, like, that's why you write the pros and the cons of everyone that it will affect. What do you
true.
got?
I think that's great. I think that you can go out today and be a good decision maker. Make sure you let us know which one you do, because I am really curious. I am curious as to whether or not you actually think about the little things or you just do it. You know, I'm impulsive when it comes to that. I think I just do it. I just buy it.
Yeah.
Or, but you know, I also don't want to be a hoarder either. So I don't. It's not like I'm overly shopping. I don't want. I don't want you to think that. I saw what you just did.
I threw something on the floor to entertain these dogs. A decision I should have made this morning is to put the dogs in their crate instead of letting them loose while we're doing this talk. But I felt bad because they were sleeping at the time, so I am kind of an impulsive decision maker.
Well,
But
you guys go out and have a fabulous day.
Have a beautiful day. Vote in your primary. If you can get through the confusion and the redistricting and everything else that they've done. But anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out and be absolutely kind to other people, because that's what we need in this world. Absolutely, especially at this time. So take care. I'm Di.
I'm Robin. Have a fabulous day.
Bye-bye. She can't shut it off.